The Wild Boars of Madness. Chapter 33. Drunkard.
That morning, a gentle rain began to fall, hindering Zheng's work. The rain persisted for a while before finally relenting. Soon after, the sky cleared up, dispersing the clouds and mist as the sun ascended to its zenith. Lao Yang had spent the night in confusion, unable to find any answers. After a morning of surveying, his eyes were fixed on the horizon, his thoughts spiraling into further chaos. Eventually, he decided to stop pondering altogether. Dazhuang and Hurzhuang went to the back of the house to pee. Lao Yang shivered at the thought and remembered he needed to say something to Teacher Lai. Teacher Lai, the bullets have a powerful force and there might be dangers. Be cautious when using them. Teacher Lai responded. Thank you for the reminder. I understand. You don't seem well. Did you not sleep well? Lao Yang replied. It's alright. I slept soundly. I'm just a bit tired these days. I felt a bit feverish in the morning, but I'll be fine soon. Teacher Lai advised. Rest in the afternoon. I'll keep watch. These days, vigilance can wear on one's spirit. Lao Yang assured. It's alright. I'll be fine in no time. Let me tell you about Kang's secretary's son, Shen Yufa. Like his father, he had a penchant for alcohol, but he couldn't stomach beer. He brought along some cheap liquor, but feeling a bit embarrassed about its quality, he didn't dare to drink it openly. After finishing lunch, feeling discontented with having abstained from alcohol for 3 or 4 days, and having consumed only a few sips of his urine, Shen Yufa decided to use the excuse of bathing by the river to sneakily bring a bottle of liquor. He arrived at the ironclad tree, placed his clothes and the bottle beside the exposed tree roots, hastily scrubbed his body in the clear river, dressed under the tree and leaned against the crooked tree trunk. Glugging down a few mouthfuls of the harsh liquor, he thought about the grievances of the past few days and took a few more sips of his troubles. Then he recalled his father's instructions on the day before he left. Throughout these days, he had been suppressed by the likes of Hurzhuang and Dazhuang and couldn't express himself. He drank a few more gulps of sullen spirits. A few more and the bottle was empty. Suddenly feeling a bit intoxicated, a cool breeze swept across the riverbank. Looking down, he felt something rising in his stomach. Thinking he couldn't afford to return in disgrace, he decided to sleep outside for a while, allowing the alcohol to wear off before explaining himself. After a few steps, he noticed a flat stone resembling a reclining tiger on the ground. It seemed exceptionally comfortable. Without conscious thought, he lay down on it. The stone was neither warm nor cold, and his body found it indeed comfortable. Another cool breeze blew, and before he knew it, he vomited, expelling all the food from lunch and breakfast, mixed with the scent of old liquor, onto the ground. Drowsiness took over him. Zheng was flipping the stone tiles on the roof, with Liang assisting from behind. Zheng was delighted at the prospect of finishing the job, escape like a Chinese dragon returning to the sea, becoming a free man. He couldn't help praising his own intelligence and wit, humming rural tunes while working. He noticed Shen Yufa bathing in the river and thought of going to the lake near the cliff cave to take a bath later. After turning over 2 tiles, he took another look. He saw Shen Yufa sleeping on the crouching tiger stone again, only about 150 steps away. The sight was vivid and he thought of taking a sleep on the soft grass in the cliff cave after his bath. Overjoyed at the prospect, he flipped 2 more tiles and, glancing again, felt like his 7 souls had left his body through 7 orifices. One tremendously robust and flamboyantly spotted pig emerged from somewhere, currently nuzzling and licking near Shen Yufa's neck. As it turned out, this boar was also a drunkard. In the mountains, wild pigs love to nibble on fermented rotten fruits. Although the faint fruity alcohol was appealing, it couldn't compare to the aged liquor of the human world. The fragrance of the alcohol wafted through the air, attracting the attention of the colossal boar. Unconcerned about whether it was first-hand goods or second-hand goods, it decided to taste it first. Zhang urgently signaled to Lao Yang, who, upon seeing it, was equally baffled. Stealthily, they both bent down and gestured for Teacher Lai. Teacher Lai, from the doorway, could see clearly. He swiftly unslung his hunting spear, opened the safety catch, and Dazhuang snatched the gun from Hurzhuang. They all tiptoed out of the house, and with the doorway still 20 or so steps away from the direction of the riverbank, they crawled forward on the grassy meadow. Soon, they reached the edge of the elevated platform. The boar, impressively large and robust, had its back turned to the group as it indulged in its meal next to Shen Yufa. Teacher Lai readied the gun, took aim, and waited for the boar to lift its head, intending to deliver a fatal headshot. Yang, lying next to Teacher Lai, noticed that Teacher Lai had his index finger on the trigger and cautiously said, "Teacher Lai, it's not advisable to shoot. There's a risk of causing harm. This boar doesn't seem like it's about to attack." Teacher Lai glanced at Yang, and with his eyes back on target, Dazhuang crawled over to pull Yang away, saying, "You go over there. It's not your place to interfere here." Dazhuang also crawled over, and the two brothers surrounded Teacher Lai in the middle. Reluctantly, Yang crawled to the edge of the slope about 10 steps away. There was a soil ridge dug over there, which was convenient, providing an easily accessible path. He thought he could rush over in case of an emergency. However, he also wondered about Teacher Lai's methods, finding them a bit ruthless. Was it necessary for someone with skills to resort to such measures? It might be effective, but it seemed against natural order. If Ajin followed him, he feared she might face mistreatment sooner or later. While Yang was contemplating, the boar had walked directly to the riverbank. Its vulnerable points were obstructed by the remnants of the ironclad tree. After drinking some water, it waded through the shallow water and walked away. Behind the dark, crooked remnants of the ironclad tree, it gradually revealed its tail and then half of its leg. Swaying back and forth, it covered dozens of steps and reached the middle of the river. Although the riverbed in that section was broad, the water was not deep, only reaching the pig's belly. Teacher Lai raised his rifle when the three of them took a few steps towards the dirt mound, wanting to change their perspective. Dazhuang said, "Brother Lai, are you still using pointed bullets? They have a longer range, but I'm afraid the power might not be enough. Did you bring the round-nosed bullets?" Zhuang added, "I didn't bring them. I saw them on the tea table." With that, Zhuang rolled and bent down, stood up, and went back inside to fetch the bullets. Teacher Lai continued to aim for a while. The pig seemed to have some mystical guidance, moving only under the cover of the ironclad tree trunk. The sunlight was perfect, and a gust of wind swept over the riverbank, creating ripples on the tranquil waters. Perhaps the boar smelled the alcohol again. Thinking that there was new liquor on the table, it turned around and headed towards the riverbank. Fueled by the alcohol, the boar took 3 steps into and closed in from behind the remnants of the ironclad tree. When it turned around, it resumed nuzzling near Shenyufa. This time, the boar's head was directly facing the elevated platform. As the boar eagerly sought alcoholic sustenance, Shenyufa, with his head turned away, faced only the scent of the alcohol, not the actual food. Just as Pig was about to turn in their direction, a gunshot rang out.